That's good enough. One
All right.
person's better than no people.
Welcome our one fan.
Awesome.
I know. I'm already in there.
Okay, yes. Yeah, welcome to Fandom Night. We're a show.
Welcome to the Fandom Night, the show that has nobody in chat. We're
Well,
your hosts.
They'll show up as we go.
Yeah. As it
man.
goes and people get the actual push notifications, people
Also,
start showing.
everybody's been kind of busy and burnt and working and everything else. It's tough to kind of come in here and
Prepping to move.
Yeah.
But-
Existential crisis.
Or sicker than a dog like me.
I know.
But I can magic trick.
With our miseries combined, you know, I'm sure we can summon something.
That time
Well-
it's going to tell you one thing, dude.
Speaking
I
of
know.
miseries, we got a good one today. We are going back to video games to talk about everybody's favorite subject, microtransactions. Shane?
Yep.
Excited?
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we're doing.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Maybe.
No, this whole episode is just going to be
Dang it, he beat me to it.
me going
So-
no and you going yes.
That would be amazing. Just 2 hours? Yes. No.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
And they're all listening like, did I literally just sit there for 2 hours listening to
know,
this to
that would
see
be
if it
so
was
good.
Yes.
to see if they did go 2 hours of doing this?
I know.
Yes.
That would be a fantastic episode, by the way. No. So look, here's the thing.
Okay.
This is not going to be a big like, oh, microtransactions. It's not going to be the same argument that that everybody's always heard, that everybody always does. I'm not interested in that. Everybody has their opinion. It is what it is. We are going to talk about them today because one of the things that's interesting, let's be honest about the situation here at this point. They are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. We have proven time and time again, regardless of anybody's hoo-ha about it, they're not going anywhere. We pay for them. We buy them. We support them. And I say we've all done it. We've all bought the dumb costume or the armor or the sword or the extra content or the car or the something. We pay for it. That's why it
Or-
never goes away.
Or
And we've all played the
because of
free
mobile
game.
games.
We've
Well,
all
because
played
of
the
mobile
free.
games,
Yeah.
dude, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, one big killer is paying to disable ads.
Yes.
Yep.
Or would you like to take your hat off?
Oh, yeah, I hate that one. Oh, you want to walk around after you spent 17 hours in the character creator so you can,
Or-
I don't know, see your dude's face?
Yes.
Or
You can either not wear a helmet or
Or-
you can give us $20.
Yep.
pay for extra save files.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
you put in more
gosh.
than 2 characters? $15.
And it's
believe
it's not just video games. It's in everything now. You even see it in things like so like there are systems that use it. Okay, like AI things where you go in and you're like, I want to make goofy pictures of my friends or what. You know, we've sat in here before and messed around and been like, oh, do this or whatever.
Yeah.
You do like you get so many points a day and then you can buy points to like use it. Yeah. So like it's everywhere. It's inevitable and they're not going away. But believe it or not, sometimes these are good. Sometimes they're bad. And then sometimes they are literally funny.
Downright ugly.
There are some ugly ones. Like,
Yeah.
so look, what are some good ones? Because realistically, they do exist. Like, I have one that's kind of wild.
Good ones, I would say there are a few that keep a game alive and they actually add to it. trying to think of actual examples right off the top of my head. I know I've had to deal with it a few times with some of the PC games I've played. And I wouldn't even call them like DLCs or expansions. They're just something that kind of adds to the enjoyment of the game and gives you like a new look at it. And you're like, okay, you know, maybe I'll go back and play through it now because, you know, I've got this unlocked. It might change a few things. Like, that would be a good example.
Okay.
Or example of good, I should say.
So, one game that has sure made a lot of this, and you could argue some of it's very bad and some of it's very, very good, but like a game that's lasted well past its entry point would be like the Dragon Ball Z. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. Is it Xeno something?
Oh, Xenosaga?
No. Xenosaga is a different game, isn't it?
Xenoverse.
Xenoverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Xenoverse, the second Xenoverse game, because of DLC, the first one is completely irrelevant. Like, it really is. Like, there's no reason to even own it at this point. Nope. You play the second one, and they are still getting new stuff now. It is unreal how long that game has gone on. Like, it's unreal how long that game has gone. There is a longevity created by some of these microtransactions that, while irritating, believe it or not, they hold a decent place. Like, there are games that we've played a lot. But, like, realistically, I think fighting games are one of those things that benefit substantially from this. Like, you know what?
Get a new character.
Street Fighter. Oh. Street Fighter's one that I would like to call out. Because I don't want to buy Street Fighter, then Street Fighter Arcade, then Street Fighter Ultimate, then Street Fighter Ultra, then Street Fighter Hibbity Bibbity. Like, I don't want to buy these.
Don't forget Championship Edition.
Oh, and the Championship Edition and things of that nature.
Don't forget the Ultimate Daisugen Edition.
Oh, yeah, that's like if there was a best. Like if there was like the best possible game, but it's like not like like it because like there's the good one, but then there's like one that's like it's like a higher version of that game, like the best
which
version,
is more good.
Which is more good. Yes, yeah, it's like
gooder than the previous.
Yes,
it's better than
gooder.
Bad.
Yes,
it is very gooder.
It's very gooder.
Yeah, it's better than bad. It's good.
It's better than bad. It's good.
It's the goodiest.
One would argue it becomes a game of all time.
But, so look, I actually thought about this a lot. Like, a lot. It kind of blows my mind that fighting games work in this format. I almost feel like at this point, gaming has changed. We'll just be honest about it. Every generation should have a Street Fighter. That's it. A Tekken, a Dead or Alive, a whatever. And if you want to keep adding to it, that's fine. Keep adding all of the stuff. We got new costumes. We got new, we got new characters or whatever. Buy what you want. Deal with what you want. Do what you want. Okay? Dragon Ball FighterZ is one of them that just keeps adding characters. Good characters. Then, I would argue at the end, before you shut a game down, there should be an ultimate collection. Like, you just buy it, that's everything that was added to the game. You now have a complete edition game if you wanted it. And so some people would play the waiting game. They would wait till the next generation and then buy Dead or Alive 6 with everything. And that's fine, but I'm just because there's another game that comes to mind that recently did something like this, but Mario Kart.
Yeah.
They didn't release another Mario Kart. They just added an entire second game to the game you were already playing.
Yep.
And that game already works. It's already fantastic. I don't need anything else from it. I don't need a new one yet. Like, I really don't. Now on the Switch 2 or whatever they want to call it, that
Oh, you didn't hear?
no.
It's going to be called the Super Nintendo Switch.
If they really go with that, I guess I'm fine with it.
No, it's actually just a running gag because people were going back and they found one of the old Super Nintendo commercials with Paul Rudd in it. So
yeah.
that's been circulating around. So the joke now is they're going to call it the Super Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, I would be okay with this. That would be funny.
At that point, I'd be fine with a new Mario Kart. And you know what? That's another thing, too. Mario Party could benefit from this because I'm tired of buying Mario Party, then Mario Party Superstar thing or whatever, then a third Mario Party. There don't need to be 3 Mario Parties on this one system.
It's not like you freaking support it anyway.
The thing is, they give us like 4 maps for a game. Like 4 maps. Add maps. Yep. Like, that's a game that desperately needs microtransactions. I will pay $5 to have a new map, to not see the same map all the time. Like, for a while there, everybody was coming over and they're like, oh, let's play Mario Party. I'm like, which of these 4 maps would you like to repeat for the 400th fucking time? Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a game that would benefit tremendously from this idea. Just add something. There's also Dead or Alive, and I don't think this was the only game, but Dead or Alive I know did it for sure. You could buy an arcade version of the game. It was free. It would give 2 characters and they would rotate out which one of those 2 characters you got per month. And you could buy any character that you wanted to try out before you bought the game. So instead of buying the game, you would buy that. You would spend maybe $5, $6 on a single character, play the game, see if you gave a crap, and it was like the ultimate demo. Like, you are playing the game. You're just only buying the characters that you care about. And you can play it that way, slowly piecing out the characters that you care about. Or you can decide after 2 characters you spent $10 now and you're like, I think I love this game. Now you buy it. That's a solid idea. But then there are things that are bad.
Like spending $20 to remove your helmet after you spent 17 hours in the character creator, making sure just every single little thing with your character is perfect.
Or like I said, to pay extra to have extra save files.
What's that? You want more than 2 characters? $15 a month.
Another thing I don't like is just like the way that like shooters have gone too, with the whole battle pass. Like, before you can even play the game, you got to skip through all this crap like battle pass. Hey, battle pass. Hey. Just to remind you, battle pass.
There's, in a lot of games, have the season passes now where they basically know, hey, we're going to be adding stuff. Just go ahead and get on board now. Like,
Yep. But yeah, so like, I don't know, stuff like that always seems. And then the crap they did with that Battlefront 2. That literally changed the loot box thing because they considered it gambling.
Okay.
And,
Well, I mean, it is.
It is, and then people, like kids, were playing that game gambling.
Yeah.
So it was technically, so that was pretty crappy too.
I mean, yes. So here's an argument for that, and I'm not trying to defend it, but it is a legit question. They tell you there's a chance of getting these items in the loot box, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They tell you that. Okay. Cards on the table. These things are in here somewhere. Maybe you'll get them. Okay?
Okay.
I'm right? I don't want to lose you here. I want to be exactly, we're on the same page. You pay your money into the loot box. You don't get what you were hoping for.
Right.
Sucks.
That is true.
Now back up. You go to GameStop.
Indeed.
And on the counter, there are little Dragon Ball Z orbs
Yes, I see where you're going.
And you could get Vegeta.
But you could also get Yamcha.
You could get black hair Vegeta with a tail, black hair Vegeta without a tail,
But
and
instead,
some broken armor. You could get black hair Vegeta with shoulder straps. You could get black hair Vegeta in a bodysuit. You could get gold hair Vegeta. And it just goes on and on and on. But you go ahead and spend your $7.99 on this
Plus
little
tax.
orb and get dead Yamcha.
Yeah, like I said, well, first off, that would be
Is
kinda
that
cool.
gambling?
Yes, but I
Technically,
would
yeah.
be okay with getting dead Yamcha.
Yeah, I would
It would
display
be
that.
hilarious.
Regardless, it should, because we come down on video games for playing that fuck game. Why don't we get mad at the grab bag shit?
The reason
How
why
come
we don't
that's
get
not
mad
illegal?
at the reason why we don't get mad at the grab bag shit is because the grab bag shit, you still get something.
You
And
still
while
get
out of the loot boxes, yes, you do still get something. But the problem is kids is dumb,
Yes.
so they take mommy and daddy's credit card. Next thing you know, mommy and daddy are $400 in debt going, what the hell just happened?
Well, I won't argue with
They
that,
needed a
but
gold
then
skin.
I won't
Well,
argue with
it's
that,
the
but
same
I'll also
thing with those little ball things.
I'll
though.
also tell you that Gwen
Yeah.
gets Roblox bucks, but I give her a card that goes on an account. I've never handed my kid my credit card because I'm a fucking adult.
Because you're not an idiot parent.
Like I see those stories all the time that are like, oh yeah, and then this kid fucking he ran up $900 something on Roblox. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you. They're at every corner fucking gas station, every corner fucking grocery store. Buy your kid a card. What the fuck are you thinking?
Well,
You
sometimes-
did that to you. You
Well,
should feel like an idiot, not your kid. Your kid ran with what you gave them.
Well, sometimes the kids will
Steal their credit card?
just take the credit card.
Guess what? Guess what then it's time for, parents?
An ass whooping.
It's time for an ass whooping. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Like, there are repercussions to the decisions you decide to make, and quite frankly, at that point, your child has chosen of its own free will to steal money from you. That's theft. It's time to teach lessons. And sometimes maybe you got to teach a real lesson. And that sounds shitty, but there are repercussions to every choice that we make. And your kid decided to steal $900 out of your pocket. You better do something about it. I'm just saying, I've never seen that situation and felt bad for that parent. Like, oh man, that sucks that happened to you. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
First off, put your card in your pocket. It's not your kid's card. Okay?
Yep.
Don't give it to your kid. Don't necessarily leave it in a place where your kid can get it. And if there's even the possibility that you feel your kid would or could steal from you, then you need to have real conversations because you fucked up somewhere, period.
Otherwise,
Also, don't leave your card information stored on your phone
Yeah.
or on the system where they could just walk in and boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Hey, more Roblox bucks.
That's another part of it too. Yes, there have been times that I've used my card to buy something for my kid off like Nintendo or whatever. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I've never left my card on there. And people are like, oh, I don't want to have to enter my card every single time. Then you better put a parental code on the system.
Yep.
One hell of a good password, dude.
And every time they want to go on that shop or something, you better be with them. And quite frankly, you're the adult in the situation. When your kid is shopping for a game on the Nintendo app or something like that, your ass is supposed to be there.
Yep.
I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you. You did that shit to yourself. Period.
Yep.
I have never, ever just simply walked away from the room while my kid is shopping for a video game on Nintendo because she could buy anything. And I need to know what she's buying, what is going on that system, what she's playing, and how much money she's actually spending. I need to know. It's coming out of my pocket, and it's my kid and my responsibility to make sure that she didn't buy fucking that hentai shooter game or something.
I was actually about to bring that up. I was about to be like, don't worry, Bill, it's just the shitty hentai light novel game that you can get on the Switch.
Yeah.
No,
So,
no, I had this conversation not too long ago with my wife, and the way that games are nowadays and stuff, I still play them and everything, but at the same time, I think I hate it too.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me give you a scenario. This is fantastic. I came up with this. You're going to love this. This is fantastic, Shane. Say Madden released another football game. You plays the foosball.
I have played the foosball
Okay, you buy the foosball.
occasionally. Yes.
How many foosballs have you bought?
Oh, not very many, to be honest.
That surprises me, in all honesty, because I know
No,
you
they
play
don't.
it.
Well, for the longest
And I
time,
know
man,
our other friend Ashlyn tends to buy the newest one whenever they actually get the chance so they can play. They like to play it and played with you, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
Yes.
I never really played with any of those guys.
Yes, because specifically
Well,
Ashlyn has told me that she goes to your house to play football.
Well, we do that like where you build your own team, and you just sim everything, or sometimes you can play it. Sometimes you just sim it, and we just sit there and watch.
So get this, Shane.
Kind of like how we used to do with the boxing games.
Here's
Yep.
one for you. Say they release Madden. That's it. No subtitles, nothing. Madden Switch, Madden PlayStation, Madden Xbox, or just Madden. It's just a game,
the
and you just
flamethrower.
play it, and when you play it, it's cross-system and everything, okay? It's just a game.
Okay.
Biggest project in football history for video games ever. They're not making another one. This is it. You buy it, you're done.
Okay.
Okay? Now, when you first turn the game on, it asks you what your favorite team is.
Oh, the team that's going to beat Seth's team in Week 1, Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, about that.
Okay, so you pick Green Bay. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
no, that's fantastic. Okay, so you pick Green Bay, and it starts into the game.
That's right.
But you now have Green Bay.
I do have it.
And that's it.
That's it. You bought the team. You bought Green Bay. And you bought the current roster
know,
of
Shane,
players for
that
Green
sounds
Bay.
like a steal, Shane, because you just bought Green Bay for $60. You bought all of Green Bay for $60. Normally, Lambeau Field plus the team, plus the contracts, plus the cheerleaders, plus concession stand, plus upkeep. I mean, shit,
this
man, you
gets
got
this
all
gets
that for
bigger
$60
though.
bucks.
So you just bought the Green Bay team, okay? You buy the game, it gives you one team for free, Green Bay. Now, if you want to play with another player, you're going to have to buy another team. Teams cost $15 a team.
Ooh, ouch.
It's a big hard hit, and there's a reason for this, okay? There's a reason for it,
Licensing.
Shane. You got to pay for a licensing contract, and there's a reason you got to pay for a licensing contract. You're going to buy another team. Your friend comes over, they want to play. What other team are you buying?
Well, since $15 is a lot of
It's
money.
a lot of money.
Considering there's 31 garbage teams in the NFL and only one great team.
Okay.
Fuck. I don't know, man. That sounds like a pain in the ass.
Nope, you got to buy one. You got to play two players. Somebody wants to play.
All right, Seth. Bring the
Shane.
Eagles. Eagles.
No, Shane, I was about to say, you do it the way that we all did it as kids. You get the shitty off-brand controller. That's your friend controller. In this, you buy the Dallas Cowboys, and you let your friend play as the Cowboys so they always fucking lose.
Okay,
And
now
they
hold on.
And they do always lose to Green Bay.
You paid that money. You now have two teams. You now have two teams. You're $30 into the game, okay?
Okay.
Now, the game has an update roster. This has to be connected to the internet. It has to do an internet check with an update that updates periodically once a month.
Makes sense with the draft and trades.
Now, there's a
and
reason
stuff.
for this. There's a reason for this. As your team changes in real life, they will update the system to change the team on the video game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would like, you can buy legacy teams. So you can buy any year of any roster that you can imagine and add it to your team as a legacy pick for $10.
It's costume
Any year.
change, basically.
Any year you want. But it's more than a costume change because you'll
Yeah,
get
'cause you
all
get
the
to keep their
stats that come
stats.
with it.
And there's been
Yep.
some good packages.
Hey, there's some games that costume changes causes stat changes.
Boy,
So
I could think
now
I
all
could
of a
think
sudden I have your attention. You're $30 into this game. Are you spending more money for a legacy team?
Oh.
Yeah.
For my team, it's worth it. We have
Like-
we have some really good teams in the '60s and in the '90s and in the 2010s. To be fair,
Okay, so we're spending the money. We're $40 in.
At minimum, it depends on how many.
I was going to
years you
say,
want.
by the sounds of it, it sounds like he's getting an extra $30 worth. So he's $60
Buying
in
some
the
legacy
hole now.
picks.
1 second, guys. Just continue talking. I'll be right back.
He's got to go get his wallet. He's got to figure out how much money he's got. How
I'm
many
not
legacy
big on the
teams can I buy?
football.
Ah, crap.
I'm not big on the football, right?
Right.
But if I did have to get sucked into this, I would be buying the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
Fair.
So he's
I would
$15 in. He's bought the game.
Yep, bought the game, got the Colts, and then I would immediately spend $10 on getting the, I don't remember which year it was, but the very last year that Peyton Manning played for the Colts.
Okay. So he bought
There's
himself a
20.
legacy team.
Yep,
So now he's $25 in.
that's it, because nobody's coming over to my house to play football.
And that's it, and that's fair. See, for somebody like you, this might be the absolute buy-in. Every now and then, when you're randomly in the mood to play a football game, you only had to pay $25 to get exactly what you wanted. Now you can play.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever wanted more, if somebody came over and they were like, "Hey, dude, I play football with you," or whatever, you might have to ask that dude, "Okay, well, we can buy any team you want, but it's cost $15. I have to add it to my roster or something." That sucks to have to ask your friend, but at the same time, you got to do
And
it.
it was
At
2011.
that point, I just look at him and say, "All right, we're gonna play some fucking Blood Bowl. Let's go."
We're gonna play my legacy team versus the current roster, because you
Yep.
do have two teams.
It's true.
Yep.
Now the real kicker would be if they added in college ball with that.
Right.
I'm
That
back.
would be
Okay.
terrifying.
So now, did you buy any legacy teams?
I might.
Make your decision. You're $30 in right now.
I'll do it. I'll buy one or two.
Okay. Okay. So we're at about $50. You've bought into a game $50 wise. You have two teams and two legacy teams. Now, so far, are you on board with the idea? And when you play, by the way, when you play the game, you don't have to pay for the teams that you go up against. If you go and you pick season or whatever, you're just playing the game. You bought the team you want. Now you're playing the season. So it doesn't charge you like, hey, you're gonna play the Bears in order to get the DLC for the Bears, so you can play the Bears this season or whatever. You need $5. It's not going to do that.
Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot for something with the Bears on it. Damn, dude.
Now,
$5
fucking dollars?
Oh
but
God!
hold on,
damn.
Shane. Because this game updates in real time, if you are playing and a player gets injured and is currently out of the actual real world game, he's out of the video game.
Yep.
Dude, that sucks.
Oh, now it's getting complicated.
You
Yeah.
do,
But just like you could buy legacy games, because I'm a greedy company and I would like to nickel and dime you on my Madden game, you could pay $5 a player, and you could go back to a single version of
Healthier
any
state.
player. You could buy a legacy version of any player.
as a replacement.
Yes.
Okay, you do know that football's a contact sport. People get hurt all the time.
Oh, what a shame.
Man.
Man, it's like we had already planned for this.
It's like I make money all the time.
It's almost like I'm not doing this now because this game could cost.
Oh, you're
Thousands.
starting to see how such a good idea can run away with you?
See, but Shane, see, now here's the thing. You could also pay $150, and that'll get you a season pass that'll allow for you to instantly heal any injured people.
Well, the game is a season pass because it's going to update every month with current roster, current stats.
Right.
And it will remove players that are injured and put players in their place and things of that nature as it happens in real time. So you are playing the most accurate NFL game ever made. You're literally playing the upcoming game with the upcoming stats, with the upcoming teams, in the exact roster that is currently possible.
No.
No?
No.
But
No, it's
Shane,
true.
you could make a dream team. Because you can put any legacy character, any legacy player on any team. You can pay to be part of the draft.
No, I don't want to do that. It's too much money.
You don't want to...
No, because eventually I'll have to be an actual...
MMO football, Shane.
No, because eventually I'll have to be an actual fucking NFL player to afford it.
Get your linebacker training in right now, buddy.
I'll be calling my quarterback, hey, you just got paid $240 million. Can I borrow some?
I gotta buy you in this video game.
I got to buy you in this video game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's actually funny that we're talking about stuff like that because I just realized something.
What?
I think it's either next month or November, sometime in between there, I'm going to be dropping $100 on a fighting.
Marvel vs. It's the Capcom thing.
No.
No.
And how often do I play or buy fighting games?
Very rarely.
Yeah, rarely.
Typically, the only ones I ever buy are like Blaze Blue. I'm going to be buying the new Dragon Ball Z fighting game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, I haven't looked forward to a Dragon
here's the
Ball Z game in a
problem.
very, 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 very long time. I haven't played a Dragon Ball Z game, this is serious, since Raging Blast 1.
No, you bought Kakarot.
Yeah, I played it for a day and I took it back.
Oh.
I have not
Well-
played a Dragon Ball Z game since Raging Blast 1. They have not interested me. They ran their course. I missed Fighters because I didn't realize it would be good because I was getting tired of the way that the games were.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm doing it is because it's like, I could play this with Bill. And then it dawned on me, second I said that to myself, I went, oh, but I would have to haul my PlayStation over to Bill's house.
Yeah, I've yet to invest in a PlayStation 5. I've yet to see a reason.
Buy another controller.
And that's going to be one of those games that, by the way, Dragon Ball is another one of those games that really plays into, if they do this Ultimate Tenkaichi, and they just go crazy with it, there's no limit. Like,
Yeah,
would you buy, like, because that's a huge franchise. How about this one? What kind of characters would you buy? Nobody's off the table. Like, you going to add people from the Dragon Ball roster into your game? You know, buy
Yes.
Tao Pai Pai?
Yep. I'm going to buy Tao Pai Pai and Devil Man.
Yeah, I was going to say Devil Man.
I'm going to be broke as shit and be pleased to kill you at the same time.
Yeah, because
That'll make me happy.
But then there's the other hit to that game, which is excruciating when we talk about this kind of stuff. Like, and I made fun of it. There's Vegeta with black hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Vegeta with black hair but shoulder straps, and they count him as a second character.
Yep.
They don't.
His power levels are different.
Yeah, they don't go. Oh yeah, well this is forms. You literally have to pay, and they do this all the time with these games, all the time. Because like,
Well, I mean, fuck,
Tenkaichi 3 was like, hey, we've got like 180 characters. I'm like,
and 10 of them were Goku.
yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. I was like, you really don't though.
You've got Kid Goku. You got GT Kid Goku.
Right.
You got Young Goku. You
Young
got
Goku.
Early Years Goku. You've got fucking Cell Saga Goku. Boo Saga Goku.
Yeah, because in Tenkaichi 3, they gave you the start of Z Goku, then they gave you right before the Super Saiyan Goku, then they gave you Super Saiyan Goku, then Super Saiyan 2 Goku, then Super Saiyan 3 Goku, then Super Saiyan
4.
Did we get 4 in that game?
Yep.
I
gave us GT Goku.
And then so we got
Goku with the tail, yep.
well that was the Kid Goku that we got a Kid Goku, and I think we got 2 Kid Gokus. I could be wrong because I thought we got a GT Kid
OG
Goku
and the GT. We got both.
and then we got forms for that too, because the GT Goku had a Super Saiyan and a 3, I think.
And a 4.
No, 4 was still wrapped in because he grows up automatically when he becomes 4. He never becomes little kid level 4.
Well, yeah, he just pops into his full adult form.
Yep. So that's like 10 Gokus.
Yep.
And they count them all as their own character.
Powers. Yeah,
So-
because they let you start either in base form or automatically in Super Saiyan.
Let's see. Goku early, Goku mid, Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah, that Goku's kind of mid, though.
Goku end.
Yep.
Super Saiyan Goku end. Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan 3. Let's see. Vegeta. Sorry, I'm looking at the entire list.
I know.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Boy, and
Goku from GT. Super Saiyan Goku GT. Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT. Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
Which is
We're already at
11.
11. We're at 11 characters for just Goku.
Yep.
And it's going to be worse this time because now he's blue and purple and shit.
well, hold
Super
on.
Saiyan God, Super Saiyan
You know,
God Blue,
we keep talking about all these different.
Ultra Instinct.
We keep talking about all these different
I
forms,
forgot fucking Turles was in there.
forms of Goku. But I'm going to tell you this right now, that after doing the Sentai thing for so long, like I get, like I
Kid Goku.
I ain't never been so done with forms.
So yeah, there's
I know.
Gokus.
Where you just change one thing. The Goku, yeah, he got stronger, but the only thing he did was change his hair color. Oh, that's a new toy.
When has he been purple? That was a question. The Super Saiyan, the actual Super Saiyan God before they go blue, he was like a pinkish purple color.
Like a
That
red.
was red.
Sure. He's
No,
red
Bill's
when he's
not-
Kaioken. That's a Goku form as well, by the way, in some games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not red. I mean,
Then you have
Well, it's because
Well-
there's the one movie where he becomes Super Saiyan God, where it's a red, because all the Saiyans come together to give Goku the energy, and he becomes red Super Saiyan God. Then there's the Super Saiyan God's, what is it? Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which is the blue,
Yeah.
which they just call it Super Saiyan Blue now.
right?
But then they
I
also
want to say, yeah, there was a purple.
Well, I mean, the closest to purple you could get was Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken.
Purple's Vegeta.
Okay, that might be. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of then.
Vegeta gets Ultra Ego.
Yeah, I knew I was right.
Which is the God tier power, like
Yeah,
Garen.
because that's what I thought. It was like the Ultra Instinct or
It's
whatever.
like this. I told you, it's like a pinkish purple color.
Yeah.
That is that's the actual Super Saiyan God. It's a pink purple color.
Yep.
Well, and then technically, if you want to get really nitty gritty, he has been pink because there was Goku Black going Super Saiyan Rose.
And that's true too.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you also forget that Goku was also an ape,
Oh yeah, he did become a giant monkey.
which is technically a form.
Yep.
Yep, his giant monkey form.
So
But he never went Golden Ape.
this is going to be another game that as they dig in, they're just going to keep asking for $5.
Yep.
Like
Unless
it's going to
you drop
happen.
$100 right out the gate, and then you won't have to get
Well,
timed initially.
I'm not even 100% sure. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if in less than a month there's already DLC.
Well, let me check.
I'm saying in
because
the
I know-
first 3 weeks after its
We're gonna
release,
drop
it
some
would
more
not surprise
characters.
me at all if they're already like, oh, by the way, costumes and shit. Because, I
Okay.
mean, they know now from Xenoverse that they can do this. They have been
Yep.
running the DLC train on Xenoverse since it came out. It is still going. Like,
I'm just waiting for them to be like, hey, here's a special campaign and a character creator,
Okay, so here it is.
$40
So-
more dollars.
So basically, the game has 3 different editions: the standard edition, which comes with the game, exclusive new character, and 6 characters early unlock. The $100 version is the deluxe, which comes with the game, season pass, 3-day early access, season pass DLC, and then the same stuff that the standard does. And then there's an ultimate edition that's 110, and that comes with the upgrade, the ultimate upgrade pack, and this summon Super Shinron, and then everything else that the deluxe comes with.
Oh,
Yeah.
so apparently I'm spending $110 on this game.
ugh.
Because hold on, the early
that
$10 more
literally
bucks.
that literally makes me sick to
Hold
my
on.
stomach to say we're going to spend $110
Hold on.
on a Dragon Ball Z game.
now I'm going to go down and tell you everything that they come with. Okay, so the 6
Ugh.
early unlock characters that you get for any game, any version of the game, you get this: Gogeta Super Saiyan, Gogeta Super Saiyan, God Super
as
Saiyan.
characters?
Well, hold on, because it's not. It's just 2 characters. Broly Super Saiyan, Broly Super Saiyan full power. Those are your 6 characters.
What
Yeah.
Broly? What Broly?
From
Probably
the
supers.
Supers Broly. Like
So
from
that
the-
means
from
they're
the-
going to sell you the other Broly. Promises.
Yep.
Promises. He will show up and you will pay as a DLC.
the Ultimate Edition. The 3 packs include the superhero and the Dragon Ball Daima content that contains more than 20 playable characters. So in the season pass, they're gonna add like
So,
20 more playable characters.
Dragon Ball Kids.
The season pass summon Shinron.
Dragon
3
Ball babies.
Okay.
Still not
I'm
as
just
good as
looking
Bullet
forward
Babies.
to getting the Great Saiyaman.
And then, of course, there's a new with the Ultimate Edition. You get Goku Super costume with Power Pole. Dude, I gotta be honest with you.
Basically,
So,
because
the
It's,
back of the
so
key
hold
changes
on.
Again,
It's Goku from
Goku-
Super with the power pole,
yep.
okay? But then, like, wouldn't he just... Because this is a real question. You get Goku from Super at all the power and grace that he's achieved in his life with the
And
power
he's
pole.
sick.
And then you just push the button and go Super Saiyan, because, like, you will, and then the
Yep.
pole would just go away. Unless they're going to sell you a whole other flock of characters
They will.
that are Super Saiyan Goku with pole, Super
Well,
Saiyan 2 Goku with pole. You get what I'm saying?
Well, the Goku Super costume with Power Pole is a special costume that can be only attached to Goku Super.
It just sits on his back. It's not with
Yeah.
pole. It's just a costume.
Yes.
See, you
Yep.
made it sound like we got something that I've always wanted was young
To use the
Goku
button
used to
fighting with the
actually
pole.
use the pole.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, remember Movie Goku? Like, when he shows up in, like, Dead Zone and he actually uses his weapon?
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because that guy had a
Now,
sword.
time
Those
for
guys
our
had
ultimate
swords.
attack. Wheel of
Look.
bit slaps.
Yes, but look,
He
you
survives.
guys, we've already said it 6 times. Seth with glasses, Seth without glasses.
Shane with hat, Shane without hat.
Yeah.
Bill with hair, Bill without hair.
Yeah.
Nick with beard, Nick without beard.
No, I actually Nick without beard has been permanently discontinued.
Yep.
So,
You
so
now have to
same.
mod Nick in order to get it.
now, anybody that owns that, they sell that. They're going to sell that for a ridiculous price.
Yep.
Yep.
That's price gouging. As bad as cheese gouging.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's wild, but this is one of those games that absolutely plays into this argument. This is a game they can absolutely, I promise you, for the next 5 to 6 years, this game will be getting at least something every month, and every month, if you want to keep up, if you want to play this game.
And that's the thing. This right here, when we talked about bad microtransactions and all that kind of stuff, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate when it comes to new age gaming. I absolutely hate fighting games.
I mean, I guess you could buy the season pass every couple months.
Yeah, because it doesn't say that. It says that there is a season
There will
pass.
be. See, the very fact that there is one means that you'll be buying one every couple months. So this game, you will basically rebuy this game every 4 or 5 months.
Because I think
If you want to stay current. If you want to stay current, you'll be buying the season pass every couple months that the season pass resets. Or every year or whatever. But I promise you for about 5 years this will get continual DLC. And it's not going to die off because especially right now with Dragon Ball continually putting out new stuff, there'll be new stuff, new forms, new characters, new enemies, new stories. And they'll do that too. They'll also sell content. They'll be like, oh, here's the Dragon Ball stories. Want to be young Goku and run through Dragon Ball stories? Oh, here's the Daima stuff. Oh, here's the because I heard there's what if stories, which means they just opened up the floodgates on this motherfucker. Because think about this.
Shit.
There's the entire game. There's a what if campaign. From what I understand, when you play the story, I've already seen it. I watched one of the gameplay trailers, and when they were doing it, it came to that part where Raditz knees Goku. And then he's like, I gotta go after my kid, And it gives you a choice on the screen to either go with Piccolo, go by yourself, or go with Roshi and Krillin.
Yep.
So
It's going to have a lot of what ifs in there.
they can sell. They now have opened the floodgates to sell continual what ifs, little crafted stories that they could be like, oh, a new what if storyline for so-and-so character, for Raditz. What if Raditz was a good guy? Enjoy the entire new campaign story of Raditz if he was if he didn't get blasted through the chest and was actually like, hold on. I'm not really into the whole Makasapno dead. I would really appreciate let me up and we could talk about this because my guys, let me turn this off. Beep! Now, because I just did that, they're on their way, and they're going to beat all these asses that are standing here right now. All these asses are going to get kicked.
And they'll have the ability to, just grow me's.
Right.
Listen, I'm about to contradict myself because that whole what you're just saying is the reason why I don't know if I even want to buy this game. But I would pay extra money if they put a move in there called Maka said go dead or whatever.
Maka said no dead.
I would definitely pay I would pay a couple bucks for a move like that, just because it's different. But
so, yeah,
when you look,
Jane, would you pay $3 to be able to rename one move?
No, here's a real question. Real questions, though.
But you could name it whatever you want.
Maybe.
That's some gimmick, but stuff that I can actually see happening if they open up the floodgates for what ifs. Would you buy a Super Saiyan Raditz?
Yeah. That would be kind of neat.
I'm not asking for much. $3. It adds Super Saiyan Raditz. It gives you the form and the benefits, and it buffs the character so he actually plays on the field with the other guys and
not on the field of a Cyberman.
Actually,
really,
you know what?
Because
The
Dragon
one I
Ball
wanna
Z
see the
games are
most-
not balanced. That's a real problem. Oh, here's another question for
I
you,
wanna
because
see
these what ifs.
Super Saiyan Nappa.
These what ifs open up the world. I'm very serious about this. What if they offered Kaioken humans?
Oh, Krillin with Kaioken would be awesome.
Yeah. How come people that went there that were obviously just as skilled, if not more skilled than Goku, because Goku gets there and his power level is fucking laughable, but he gets the Kaioken. He can handle the Kaioken. But then people with much higher fighting potential that took Snake Way much faster than him and spent longer there than he did don't come home with it. What about
that is
Ten
kinda
Shinhan with Kaioken? What about Yamcha not being a complete effing joke, and when the android grabs him by the face, he realizes something's off and he needs to get out of his grip right now, and he Kaioken times 10 and just kicks him off. Now, that doesn't make Yamcha a badass, but it stops that you're dead, and then they save a Senzu Bean. That might not sound like a big deal, but having Kaioken puts Yamcha back in the fight and also redoubles the resources that we have. Heck, Krillin, and I'm going to tell you this, if Krillin had the Kaioken, I know he never got to train with King Kai. That's part of the reason he doesn't have it. Understandable. But if Krillin had the Kaioken, I'm going to say something. Krillin would have killed Cell when he fought him on the plane.
Yeah.
He was able to hit Cell. He wasn't able to beat Cell. In a real confrontation, he couldn't have done it. But what if Krillin could double his power, for an instance? Triple his power. Quadruple his power. Times
Kinda like
20 his power.
Tien would have killed Cell in his imperfect form.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you imagine the Kiko Ha times 20 Kaioken? Just all I need is one shot. Bow!
Bang!
Fucking,
And this
that's
guy-
all you had to do, Vegeta. I took care
And
of
this
it.
guy, and this guy's got too much Saiyan in him to be arrogant. He's gonna let it hit him because
Yeah.
he thinks he's all that. And if he couldn't get out of a normal Kiko Ho,
He couldn't get out of a normal Kiko Ho.
okay, mini Kiko Ho.
Mini. There
But-
were a lot of them.
But the thing is, though, is that this guy is a second form Cell, and Tien's just like, nah, you ain't going nowhere, bitch. I got you.
So
Have you ever been hit by a geometrical impossibility?
think about all the
But I-
what if DLC that's
Question.
possible with a game like that.
Dude, it can make a fortune.
And I know
Well,
what you're
the
about
thing
to
is,
ask.
Shane,
That's what this game
Shane.
is pretty
What?
much going to be.
What?
Shane, I
What?
have an important question.
What's that?
Does that mean my beard would get longer?
No, your eyebrows would, and your mustache.
Ah,
but
In
not
Super
the goatee.
Saiyan 3, he would get an epic goatee and no eyebrows.
That's true.
yay!
Nah, man. He get like a Kratos beard. It
Can
would just
you-
grow crazy.
Can
Nope,
you
he-
imagine
he'd be
selling...
Roshi styled.
Can you imagine selling what ifs like Turtle Hermit Krillin? Like after Roshi finally does die or chooses to die, and
Yeah.
Krillin takes over the house and starts wearing the shell and everything? Like an alternate universe? Can you imagine, like, because I'm telling you, man, the floodgates would be open on this if they ran with it. The DLC would flow. Because there are a lot of possibilities. Like, if you start telling what if scenarios, like, there's another what if scenario on the table that nobody ever considered. If Dr. Gero was able to take two humans and modify them into cyborgs, because they are cyborgs,
Yes.
Yeah.
and make them stronger than a Super Saiyan. What? And he just took two kids, by the way. Think about that. He was like, hey, look, kids that can't do anything about it, grab them. What if Bulma, after studying his notes, augmented Yamcha? What would android Yamcha be capable of? Because we like to make fun of him. But are we looking at like Super Saiyan 2 level potential? because he took 2 nobody kids and brought them up to Super Saiyan level through the android components. If we remodified Yamcha, who cannot fight a Super Saiyan, in fact, he can't fight regular form guys across the entire show. But
Krillin-
he is a guy standing at a power level of like, what, 700,000 easily?
Yeah, because Krillin can push back Goku Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Yamcha would have been annihilated.
And this idea, well, Goku was holding back.
doesn't
I've always had a problem with that statement. Oh, well, you got to understand that Goku and all these people, if you go Super Saiyan, that's a 50 times multiplier to your base power level. Even holding back, you're still 50 times more powerful than you were in your base. You can't hold back 50 times your power. It is not something that you can honestly do. You have to give props to anybody. In fact, if you watch it, if you want an absolute idea as to what this Super Saiyan really does for a character and the idea of people holding back, watch Ten Shinhan fight Future Trunks and watch him wreck Future Trunks' ass until Future Trunks finally just decides, okay, it's Super Saiyan 1 time. Dink! Done. And he didn't take the head off of Ten Shinhan. He held back. He hit him 1 time. That should be enough. He's done. 10 lost. 1 hit. Super Saiyan. 50 times multiplier. Not a joke. Super Saiyan Blue? And Krillin pushes back the Kamehameha. It doesn't matter if he didn't win. It doesn't matter if he couldn't win. It doesn't matter if he was holding back. He was holding back a 50 times multiplier on top of a 50 times multiplier on top of a 50 times multiplier on top of a God key control.
Oh, and they don't
Top
tell you.
of the 50 times multiplier.
And
On
you
top of
forget-
yeah.
Oh, and you forget that right before that, he just got done fighting Gohan.
Yeah. And Krillin was coming off of a fight where he already proved to Gohan, I could actually kill you. Like, that was a flex that people are not giving Krillin. Krillin, because Gohan took him like a joke. My dad has always seen something in Krillin, and I really don't know what he sees. I fought this guy when I was a kid, and I beat his ass then. What can he really be capable of? Those are almost his words. And then Krillin is like, are you ready, Gohan? And Gohan's like, yeah, do what you're going to do, you bitch. Like, it's very much like that.
Gohan stomps that ass.
And then Krillin starts a fight strategically, gets a couple of good hits, and then does the super solar flare that blinds you even with your eyes closed, and then got up on Gohan and started laying down punches. Punches that would have been easily avoidable in any other case and proved almost instantly, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead right now.
Mm-hmm.
I decided not to throw my instant Destructo disc.
But
I
the name
punched
of
your
this-
face to show you would be dead right now.
And the name of this exercise is to knock you out of the ring, and that's
Right.
what I have done.
And then immediately went to fight Goku. And by the way, almost got him.
Yeah, because he cut the bottom of the thing.
Yeah, almost got him. And then pushed back a Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha. Now, in a game like this, where they're opening up what-ifs, DLCs, maybes, could we get android humans? I mean, I guess they wouldn't change any, but would they at least get some new moves and be able to, like... Because, look, there are characters that you like that you simply can't play in a Dragon Ball Z game. The games aren't balanced. The games are pick Goku.
Yep.
Yep, pick your flavor of Goku for the day.
Like,
And if
where,
you can't
like,
pick your flavor of Goku, pick your flavor of Vegeta so you're almost there.
Yeah.
like instead of like making all these different forms of different like basically character, how about you add characters like my boss Rabbit or Devilman?
Wouldn't that be wild to get characters like that where one of his moves is he can literally like touch you and you just become a carrot and the game is over?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you become a Super Saiyan carrot.
And I mean, there's no reason they can't do something like that, because you also got to figure they have other characters that are easily just as broken. When because yeah, that sounds cheap that he could, like, if he uses this one move and he actually hits it, but like Ginyu has the body switch, which is broke as shit when he's like at no life, and then if he actually lands that move.
Which, I'm going to be honest with you, I think there's something more to that. Because no matter what happens, you see it coming. And I think what happens is when he starts to do it, I think it causes some kind of paralysis.
Well, we've already been told in Dragon Ball that there's forms of telekinesis. In fact, Kaioshin does it to Gohan. Gohan was not surprised by Spopovich. Okay?
No, he wasn't.
When Spopovich jumps into the air holding a bottle of stab juice, get you big old needle of stabbing. Like, when he jumps into the air with that, Gohan even kind of looks back like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And Kaioshin does this and holds him in place. Yep. So it's not impossible to figure, especially since that guy was like 80% brain. Like, he just had that big thing. Yeah. Like, why are we not assuming that part of his power is, first he grabs a hold of you and all he needs is that one instance of you not moving.
And that look says it all, though, dude. It's like, hey man, hey Spopa bitch, you know I'm not Videl, right?
Right. I
will fuck you up.
Dude, no shit.
In fact, since now you're jumping me and I actually want to fuck you up.
Right.
I don't know why you did that. I'm going to fuck you up.
And we're looking at full power, not as strong as he was in the Cell games, but still Super Saiyan 2 Gohan standing there.
And yeah, because even Kabito is like extraordinary.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then there's other characters we never got to see. Like, and I know this sounds wild. It's going to sound really wild to you, but
what if I want to play as the hunters that shot the puppy?
You know a Vegeta that exists that you've never seen? I can't think of a part where he's anywhere in the show or in the manga.
Who?
Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. Where is he?
You know, I've always wondered if like, okay, so you know how like with Super Saiyan Blue, yes. Vegeta has a form, basically what it's called like True Blue or something like that. Right. It's actually a form Goku cannot do, I believe. And what it does is it just makes him like a darker blue.
Right.
But it is something that Vegeta can do, and he did it out of sheer fucking just, I need to get stronger now, so let's just scream as loud as I can and see what I can do. And
I don't think we ever saw Super Saiyan 2.
But I'm wondering if, like, he never got there, but he got something different. Like, he just never...
He was Super Saiyan 2. He was Super Saiyan 2. He did get there. If you actually read the manga, not the show, if you actually read the manga...
In the show, they call him Super Vegeta.
No. That's the highest grade of Super Saiyan 1. It's at the absolute barrier. It's knocking on the door.
It's like 1.5.
Excuse me, Super Saiyan 2, can you let me in? Can you let me in there? And it's like, no.
And then
because I really need it. Like this guy's really strong. No.
Then you got Trunks' creatine form.
Yeah, which is like, it's unbalanced. It's just bulking yourself up, which we've seen characters do many times. But Vegeta specifically mentions that he has broken the Super Saiyan barrier. He mentions it multiple times during the Buu arc in the books, because he's looking to use it as a trump card when he fights Goku, until he sees Goku go Super Saiyan 2 for one panel. You can see it in the book. I don't know if you can actually see it in the animation. I'd have to go back and watch. But when he fights Yakan, he starts powering up.
Mm-hmm.
And he decides that he's going to overpower Yakan because Yakan is eating. And he says, I'll give him more than he can handle. The way he does that, Yakan isn't so stupid as to just eat until he dies. He's not a dog. But he didn't expect that while he was eating, if you look at the panels, Goku screams, his hair changes, he gets this like spike, and his face looks different for one panel. He goes Super Saiyan 2, and he eats that, and it kills him. And right after that happens, Vegeta says in the word bubbles, not, in the I'm thinking, and like, so those thought bubbles, he says, so Goku has also broken the Super Saiyan barrier. The word also means Vegeta had to. We've never seen it. He does not use it in the Buu Saga until he goes Majin. But he was able to do it. There's clear evidence in the book and the show that if you break it down, you listen to what was being said, the way he talks to Gohan, the fact that he enters the tournament, the interest he has in proving that he's done it, he has Super Saiyan 2.
And I think
never did it.
I think what he did is he probably just scrapped it because after their fight and after Goku fights Buu and Vegeta comes back, he's like, "You don't think I didn't see you? There's Super Saiyan 3.
Right.
You held back in our fight."
But then when he fights Buu, he never enters Super Saiyan 2. A time when you feel he would need it. Maybe it's arguable that Vegeta has made it, but maybe he can't sustain it for very long, and he knew he was going to take an ass whooping against Buu, and taking an ass whooping for 1 minute is not going to be very helpful for Goku. He needed to take an ass whooping for 10 minutes.
And Vegeta always seems to do well in his base form. He fought Kid Buu in his base form for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's the idea of conserving ki.
And let's be real.
But could we get Super Saiyan 2 in this game?
I think probably.
Like, why not give us those things that we've never seen if we're going to open up for what if scenarios? And this game is ever expanding for DLC. It's unbelievable what you could get away with. You know what I don't like DLC for?
What?
When it's already on the disc and you pay to drive the car?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unlock DLC is infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the most infuriating thing I can think of.
Indeed it is.
Some games are cool when they add extra things in the DLC, like when they add like a literal like second quest or something like that. Some of that can be really cool. But yeah. I'm very interested to know because it's here to stay. Like, what's okay, what's not okay, what's ridiculous, because it's not going anywhere.
Well, there are still games coming out that don't have microtransactions or DLC or season passes, like Baldur's Gate 3. The new game that came out.
You can't say that with Baldur's Gate 3.
No, Bill is absolutely correct. Clearly, you don't pay attention to the community, do you, Shane?
I've been a lot going on, so.
All right,
That's true with all of us.
Let me explain, Shane. See, I still follow a bunch of D&D groups. Like, I watch their shows, I keep up with what they're doing on their off time, shit like that.
Right.
Well, now that I'm done pissing, let me get back in my chair.
Okay.
But apparently, Wizards of the Coast, doing what Wizards of the Coast does best, they say, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy this here book? It's only $25. You can buy this here book." And you say, "Yeah, I want to buy this here book." It says, "Monster Manual." All right, I'm going to buy this here book. Apparently, they have dropped everything that is calling it one D&D. Now it's going to be referred to as D&D 2024. And D&D 2024 through the D20 system. Yeah,
I'm very confused. Are we on
if you
board
want to
games?
play, kind of. If you want to play Dungeons and Dragons now, and you're connected to D&D Beyond, guess what?
Okay.
pushing everything to automatically be part of D&D 2024 as opposed to being standard 5th ed.
Okay,
So
now I
if
get
they
what you're
change
talking
a
about.
rule, yeah, if they change a rule, guess what? They've changed the rule, and going forward, all of your books are automatically going to be fucking updated to new rule. If you like the way the mechanic worked previously, no, sorry, you're going to have to homebrew it using the actual fucking book that you bought.
That doesn't really bother me.
But don't they
I
update
do
D&D all the
get
time?
that. I do get it.
Ah.
But what he was specifically referencing with
Yes,
the
I know. And Baldur's Gate is based off Dungeons
I
and
know,
Dragons.
right,
So
but
because of this, there will be an update coming soon, Shane, that is going to force you to either rebuild the character that you made originally to play the game, or you're just going to have to deal with the fact that, oh, well, now Misty Step works way fucking different than it did before.
so updates is almost a completely other video to talk about, because updates and forced updates are a different idea. But I promise you, if all the other games like Mass Effect had DLC, extra characters that
Right.
didn't exist that were added. Dragon Age all has extra characters that you buy in the aftermath. I promise you Baldur's Gate 3 has it. I promise you there will be DLC for that game. That's
Yep.
that's
Nope,
not
that's-
even it's not even a question. It's a guarantee.
Right, that's literally what I was building up to, is that it would be, oh, well, here, if you don't like the fact that we changed these rules, give me $20, $30, and we'll just let you keep it rules as written as from before the patches.
Well, see, but that's exactly what I was arguing, is that you don't have to update your game.
Right.
Like, and inevitably, when the server shuts down, your game won't be updated anyway. So you'll always have that base, but
Right.
but DLC, I promise you there will be DLC for. There's no way. They have one of the most successful RPGs in the last decade.
Yeah.
My thing about it is though is that the game is already so very big.
So was Mass Effect.
I know,
Yeah.
but like
And Mass Effect added 2 characters, didn't they? There was like that weird bald bounty hunter guy or whatever that they added.
Yes.
no, Mass Effect, all 3 Mass Effect games had DLC.
Yep.
Mm,
And then
all
Dragon
4.
Dragon Age had the golem.
Yep, all 3.
Was there another guy in the first game? I can't remember. There was the golem for sure. He was a DLC character that you had to buy.
And Dragon Age? Yes. The Golem, I remember that.
I
Because
can't
had
remember
it.
if there was another person. I know there was the golem, but I can't remember if there was another in the first Dragon Age.
It's been so long since I
But
played
there
that game.
was a whole bunch of armor and shit. A whole bunch of items and armor and like extra store stuff. Oh, and there was the Grey Warden Keep. That was not part of the original game. All that storyline was all DLC, or you had to buy the Ultimate Edition of the game, which just came with the DLC. So it was still DLC. Heck, even the Arkham games are DLC heavy.
I guess that doesn't matter how big the game is because The Witcher 3 is a big game and it had
It
two
had
expansions.
micros, yeah.
It had 2 expansions that were all basically another game.
And then maybe
Let's
that's
see.
maybe that's an argument in its own right. Is at what point do we move past the idea of a microtransaction, and it's an expansion? I would argue buying costumes for Batman in an Arkham game,
Is microtransactions.
that's microtransactions. But
what you do
just to put the argument, is the Batgirl an expansion, or is it still small enough? You get what I'm saying here? Because she got her own little game.
I always picture an expansion being a significant amount of content.
Okay.
Like a
Expansion typically adds roughly
30 more hours.
one third to one half, if not longer, game content.
If we're arguing MMOs, nothing could ever keep up to that idea.
Well, no,
Right.
MMOs, it would be basically adding X amount of hours.
In terms of video
Well, yeah,
games, I can
'cause-
only think of one time ever that a DLC was as long as the other game that it came from. Ever. Only one game. That's it. One. In my entire recollection. Ever.
Mm.
And that's that Xenoblade game. Xenogears or Xenoblade. What is it?
Yeah.
Xenoblade. I just beat it.
Oh, you're talking about Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah. The first game took me 120 hours. The second game took me 90 hours. And I call it
yeah.
a second game, but it was a DLC.
Yeah, but that DLC, but it was like a $40 DLC, which was basically another game.
It was basically another game. Now, see,
Right.
that's an
That-
argument. At what
that-
so
that
so
to
you're
me is
saying
an
the
expansion.
Batgirl added on is
This is how I look.
microtransaction.
This is how I look at it. If it's costumes, or if it's something that adds to the game, but only adds a little bit to the game, I consider that DLC.
So
But
she came with of course Batgirl, and she got the entire storyline. She got a storyline where you went around the fair or whatever.
That's not
carnival?
That's not an expansion.
So then that's just going to be a DLC?
Yes, DLC.
Okay, so how far do you need to go to escape
Like-
DLC stat? What
Pretty much like Nick said, the game has to be
Spider-Man?
Which are you like the
I
Miles
mean,
Morales?
Spider-Man.
I'll need more context.
The first Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
The DLC, the added, is that an expansion or is it DLC? Where does it fall? How big does it need to be?
Oh, all those expansions they added because they were stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Well, considering that I think there was 3 of them, I beat all 3 of them, so it took me.
I beat all 3 of them in a night.
Yeah, they're not very long. I don't consider that's DLC
So that's still microtransaction?
basically.
It's interesting. So,
Like I said, I look at an expansion as
because
something that brings a significant amount of content.
you can't name one game so far.
Persona 3,
FES?
FES.
It wasn't
is
it wasn't a microtransaction.
not in this
Nope.
context, but with Reload, it is.
Yeah, Reload. They added.
Reload is
The-
adding
the-
in
the-
the answer as an
Okay.
expansion.
So it hasn't done it yet.
No, it comes out next month.
Because I'm just saying, right now, you still don't have one. You still can't name one game.
Shane, let me help you. Fucking the Shivering Isles.
Oh, yeah, Shivering Isles on Oblivion.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, if we're going to do that, Morrowind had expansions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember them being significant, and I also don't remember being able to download them. I remember that just being another game you bought.
If you got it on PC,
But you
it
had
would
to
have
have
been
the
something
base
else.
game.
Yeah.
You couldn't just
I guess
play
if you had it on, if you had it on, yeah, I guess if you had it on PC, maybe you downloaded it. But I
Right.
don't remember because even now you just buy that game. I don't.
and it comes with both expansions.
Yeah, I don't remember actually being able to like microtransaction or transaction that. I just remember having to buy it.
Well, here, Shane,
Oblivion-
let me help you out with another one then, Shane.
Oblivion, you
what
could
about
because
Skyrim?
you could
Now
Download.
Oblivion, you could just buy the thing. That was just like
Yeah.
a thing. You could buy it.
Yeah.
Morrowind was a little early,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it still also had its own standalone expansions.
So
not
in order to be considered an expansion and escape microtransactions status, it has to be MMO level upload. Because that's what that is. Morrowind and those games like that are an MMO you play by yourself.
Right.
Basically.
Because I was gonna say, fucking, you go to Skyrim, you get all the Dawnbreaker shit, where you got to go and fight off the vampires, which literally turns into an extra 10 to 12 hours minimum of gameplay. If you go
Well,
to,
And then you also do Soulstrom, where you
Right.
basically go back to Morrowind.
Because microtransactions are looked at as a negative in the industry. By most fans, people hate them, even though we're supporting them. We hate them.
Yep.
So, but what you're saying, because you've set the bar so high now that nothing else, like we played the Spider-Man games, we bought that DLC, that was microtransactions. You get what I'm arguing?
Yeah.
Like, I fully am behind the idea that, oh, you buy a costume, that's a microtransaction. It adds nothing to the game whatsoever, and you get no real value from it.
So I don't know why I just didn't do this earlier, because just to make sure, I just Googled it. So the difference between an expansion and DLC. DLC is essentially any additional content that gets added to the game. This can be like new maps, outfits, weapons. Expansions are larger, usually in scope, including not only a new map, but also adding to the story and gameplay in its own way.
Batgirl.
Yes.
But you just said you don't count Batgirl.
Well, that's because I wanted to make sure I had to look at
That's what they define. I didn't ask you.
Yeah.
I didn't ask them. I don't give a shit about them. In
what
the end,
you
it's your
define.
wallet and your decisions that will determine what it is that you will justify. And if microtransactions, for the most part, are looked at as a negative, sometimes you like that cool cape. Okay?
Yeah.
We've been guilty of it. But for the most part, if we're playing Dead or Alive, because I'm just gonna throw this one out there, Dead or Alive 5, okay? Here we go. I'm gonna literally. No.
Here we go.
This is an expansion now, okay?
Yep.
Because I bought my Shiranui, and I got the Attack on Titans map. That's a map and a character. And it added significant storyline to the game because you could play that.
Yep.
I would still tell you that's microtransaction, and the definition that you just gave, I was able to bullshit my way into the definition. That's a DLC now. Because I got she's added into the arcade, she gets a couple little storyline beats, and I got a new map. And the same thing with Soul Calibur, the new Soul Calibur game. When I buy a character, they appear in that stupid Chain of Souls thing. So I get to play and see some pictures.
Well, yeah,
and I get a new map.
I guess when it comes to fighting games, I've always considered that DLC.
But it's microtransaction,
Yep.
not an expansion.
No, it's not.
See? But the definition that you read...
Man, I didn't write the definition.
No, I know you didn't, but that's the reason I'm undercutting the definition, is to force you to figure out at what point do we leave the realm of stupid microtransactions. This is some Roblox shit. Your guy is green now. At what point do we leave that and move into, I would pay money for this? You get what I'm saying? Like, because I bought that Batgirl, I liked it, but I also remember I played it once and then went, eh.
Like, I basically look at it like this: if the content is significant, basically like in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that's an expansion. Like with The Witcher, the 2 expansions, those were expansions, not DLC.
Okay.
Because that added a significant amount to that game that was already large.
It was already too big for its own good.
So Shane, let's go back to an example I brought up about 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
So you just sat down with a bowl of cereal in your feety pajamas.
Yep.
Because you're in high school.
Yep.
So you're going to sit down, you're going to play you some Xbox.
Yep. In my Wolverine feety pajamas.
Yep. So you popped in your Morrowind, or no, you popped in your Oblivion.
Yeah, I did have Oblivion. Yep.
Yep. And then you went to the store because you're like, man, I really like this game. I wonder what else Oh, hey, it says that there's stuff to get.
Yep.
The very first DLC ever, Shane. $2. Armor for your horse.
Yeah, the gold horse or whatever.
Yeah,
that is a microtransaction.
That is a microtransaction.
Right.
But Shane, it's your favorite horse. You literally spent like $5,000 on that horse, Shane. It's
Let
the
me-
fastest in the land.
Let
I
me
mean,
ask
Do
I-
you want
I
it to
joined the
die,
Dark
or do you need
Brotherhood.
$2?
I'm right there. I'm right there at that point. Like that without a doubt. I consider any kind of armor, any kind of weapon, any kind of extra
Right.
item that adds no buff to the game whatsoever. But then that's
Okay.
any
Hold on.
any item or cosmetic thing is a microtransaction. Any single item is a microtransaction.
So would
Anything
you
that's a
count-
map?
Hold on. Would you count Frostcrag Spire in Oblivion as a microtransaction?
I can't answer that question. I did not play it.
Okay, so basically it was a magical tower that you could buy
Yep.
with real money out in the middle of nowhere that you could fast travel to at any given time. And you could do in-game currency, so like the Imperial coins or whatever, the gold in the game.
Yep.
You can buy all the shit to upgrade it, so that way you get your own bedroom, your own storage area. You can make your own spells without having to go to a mage's college. You can make your own enchantments on your equipment without having to go to a mage's college. And you also had your own alchemy garden plus table.
Yep.
I mean,
Now, did it add anything
know.
to?
Would that be like DLC, or would that be a microtransaction?
Oh,
Also?
to me, that's a microtransaction.
But that adds a lot of shit to make it more convenient.
yeah, but all
No.
it does is add a hub.
Yes,
And I
does it
could
add-
also quick travel to a town and do all the things you're talking about. Sure, it's a little less convenient, but you added a quality of life feature that I can download.
Now, let me
Yes
ask you.
and no, because the thing with the Wizard's Tower over
See,
in the,
I haven't
the
played it. I'm
Frostcrag
gonna-
Spire. Well, that's why I'm explaining. So everything with
Even
the
with an
Frostcrag
explanation,
Spire,
this is all Shane.
No,
No,
really,
no.
I can't
I don't have
answer it.
much.
No, I know, but I'm explaining for Shane. What it would do is it made it easier to get to rare alchemical shit. There was
Oh, yeah.
literally a spot of every single type of mushroom, a different spot of every single type of plant, another spot of like every single type of god damn it, like animal component isn't exactly the right way. Yes, all the bugs.
Let me ask.
fucking,
Okay,
like-
let me ask you this: having this tower, did it add anything to the greater story?
I mean, there was some lore with the tower.
Yeah, there was lore that was added in.
But do I need that lore to?
No.
Okay, then I consider it
Not
microtransaction.
unless you were hardcore about the Mages Guild. No.
Even then, I consider it still a microtransaction. I don't consider that an expansion.
Okay, what about the Thieves' Den?
Ooh, okay, that added a storyline,
Uh-huh.
and it added an area.
Yep.
It expanded well.
But was it enough?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That I consider that DLC.
So even though it added in a bunch of vendors, extra trainers, and the ability
Yep,
to
it's
upgrade
just
your own
other
shit.
I think that when you look at it like this, if it adds something to the story, it has a new area. It adds even if it adds a new gameplay feature.
All right, what about Mune's Razor? Well, Mayrune's Razor. Yes, if I could say it right.
No, that's
That one I don't know.
transaction.
I will take his word for it. I don't actually know that one.
You buy the ability to go do one quest to get a Daedric Prince's unique weapon.
No, that's a micro.
What about spell tomes?
Micro.
So
Easily.
adding books to be able to learn spells.
That
Okay.
is definitely a micro. That's basically like it's almost the equivalent of a cosmetic or a weapon.
Okay. All right, Knights of the Nine.
That's an expansion.
Knights of the Nine, I believe, it wasn't an expansion. It added a new area. It had its own story.
That built upon the world.
That built upon the world that you were already in. That's an expansion.
All right, Shivering Isles, we already went over.
I noticed that the
Like
only time you're able to get him to claim a DLC is by jumping to ridiculously huge games that when they offer you only 10% extra content, they feel big because the game is already big. Like, because
Right.
what you guys are talking about, I'm just
Fortunately,
going to tell you, It's all small shit to me. They're like, hey,
Right.
there's a thieves' den. They added a building. Big fucking deal. Guess how many assets were probably taken directly from the other buildings that already existed. And then they were
Yep.
like, here's a storyline, which is basically a couple guys that talk and then repeat a cliche, very hardcore sandbox storyline that you've already played 9 different times throughout the course
Yep.
of the game anyway. And then you guys go, oh shit. But like, the same argument played backwards, like I said, they added Batgirl. She got her own villain, own bosses, own area, own map, own travel component, own graphics. She's microtransaction.
No, deal.
Yep.
Well, deal. I look at it like this. I don't know if they're all in the same category or if there are 3 different categories or only 2 different categories. But how I do it
There's
is
there's microtransactions.
which are weapons, cosmetics, like anything.
Then
that
if you moving into DLC means DLC, and this is not a good idea. Here's the idea.
DLC is the broad
Microtransactions.
spectrum.
Microtransactions are the nickel and diming of the industry.
it's what
Yep.
if you play.
They
Overwatch
offer you
2
nothing.
Right now,
They offer you nothing. They take from you everything. It's
You
really
get-
what it is. That's
Yep.
here's a cool gun.
yes,
Here's
that's
a cape.
microtransaction.
Here's Red Batman. Number 2, DLC is not a fair idea because microtransactions and expansions are also DLC. Number 2, I would just claim as actual extra content.
Yes,
Worthwhile, though, because there's
Yes.
3 tiers to this. There's microtransactions that are not worth it. There's microtransactions, because they're still DLC, that are worth it. And then there's the cross into this basically could have been its own game, which is a different argument altogether, because that kind of stuff really belongs to formats like Final Fantasy XIV.
yes.
Here's this. Elder
Yep.
Scrolls Online. Here's this. Go
Yep.
play for the next 400 plus
Yep.
hours of your life.
So basically, how I look at
Yep.
it is, I look at like I said, if it's anything that you can buy, like in Overwatch, where I want that costume for my character, that's a microtransaction.
Yes.
If it adds some extra stuff to the game, that's DLC. And then if it adds a whole bunch of crap, that is an expansion.
When
That's
do
how
you
I
feel
look.
it becomes worth it? And I know this is subjective because I
Actually,
know you can argue, oh, dude, I loved Red costume. We've all done that dumb shit.
Basically, I look at it like this. I
bought the
accused
Final
of doing,
Fantasy 15 stupid weapons, so
But
I can't cop to that. I was like, what?
I've
What?
done
I bought the spear, the Final Fantasy IV spear. You know what I'm talking about? I bought
Able Lance.
yeah, I bought all those dumb weapons for 15. So it's not like I'm above that shit.
Well, I've done that stuff. I've done that kind of stuff too. If I see something that I like and like, oh, that catches my eye. How much is it? That's not bad. I'll buy it. But that nothing else here interests me. I ain't gonna spend my money. But
So
I've also
become worth it?
well, that's what I look at. How I do is I look at the content, and if it catches my attention, that's when I will say, okay, well, this DLC is adding this, and that does interest me, so I find that worth it.
Interesting is fine. Interesting is fine, but just like I said, your interest has also caused you to spend $1 to buy a dumb sword.
Listen,
But that's not my argument. I'm asking you, not that you would buy it. At what point does DLC become acceptable? Like, I'm not going to buy that shit, but I could see why people would want it. And
Yep.
not that like, you know what? Because this is, if I remember right, weren't the Final Fantasy IV After Years originally all DLCs? Weren't they all like all chapters that you bought? Like,
Yeah.
was it on
They're like-
Wii?
They were like 99 cents a pop.
and that added lore.
Those are
to
like
this.
tiny little RPGs.
and that
Tiny
added,
little
and that-
like 2-3 hour RPGs that you could play.
which
But then
added,
if you bought all of them, they became a game.
Yep.
which. Ooh, see that. See, we get
I
into
know.
We get into such
Uh-huh.
weird. Basically,
Now
okay,
later on, they just
here's
released
how-
the whole thing, and they were like, "There, it's a game."
Okay, fine. You
Yep.
want to know? You want to know
But
how
then they fucked me because I didn't know that every single one of those that you were playing needed its own save.
Yep.
So I
I
got
found out
all the
too.
way down to where you got the characters back, and I was like, "Oh no!" Because
Why
I'd
is
just been
everyone so
saving over
weak?
my main save file, and everybody was weaker than shit and completely unusable.
And you were already on the Moon Part 2 Electric
Right.
Boogaloo at the
There
time.
was nothing I could do but
Basically-
get fucked.
basically how I look at it. I'll explain it real quick. How I find it.
Actually, I got a
where I
bug
find
out.
it.
Yeah, man.
All right, man.
Later, guys.
Later on, man. Now, where I find it acceptable is if they announce something, and if I don't roll my eyes and go, "Oh my god," if I go, "Oh, okay," that's when it's acceptable.
See, Shane, that's
So-
why I kept going
So
back
by
to Oblivion.
definition,
Yeah.
for anybody that's curious, if you're considering some DLC, you just gotta call Shane and figure out if his eyes rolled. Because if his eyes rolled, it's not worth it. It's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
It's not worth your $10. Okay, but if his
Yeah.
eyes did not roll, you could buy Final Fantasy IV again,
Yep.
Or again,
and again,
and again,
Yeah.
and again.
See,
until you just stop, and then you finally got over it, and now I don't buy it anymore.
Well, see, Shane, that's why I went back to Oblivion, because like I said, it was the first game to offer downloadable content, DLC.
Yes,
That's
I
why
didn't
you
even know.
start
I
with
didn't even know this was a
$2.
thing. He says, "This is the first thing I've brought up because I've been trying to keep us on track with this one because our minds
Right.
are. This has been a tough
Yeah.
episode to even get to, but this kind of caught my attention." Says, "I know this has nothing to do with microtransactions. Have you all played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk? It's a Jet Set clone with some added features and harder challenges. I
I
haven't
heard
played a
about it.
Jet Set game in years. I think I own the second one. I think I have, or do I own the first one on Xbox? I think the Jet Set that I still have is Jet Set Radio. Is it Future? It's the one that comes, it's on that special disc where the other one is like Sega Rally or some shit.
you talking about Jet Set Radio?
Yeah. But I can't remember. I may have Future. I may have Jet Set Radio Future.
Yeah, which sounds about right.
Because I want to say Jet Set Radio was a Sega Saturn game. No,
Yeah.
Dreamcast.
No.
it was Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
It was Dreamcast. And then I think when it came to Xbox, I think they added Future to the title. I think it was like kind of a remaster port thing.
Sega
That
Saturn.
actually might be right.
Sega Saturn wasn't on the market long enough to have.
So I haven't played a game like that in a long time. That would probably interest me, whatever this Rush Cyberpunk is, because it's been a long
It's,
time since I've played a Jet Set.
Let me put it to you this way: it's a spiritual successor to the game.
Right? Kind of
And
like
those-
it's kind of like you could argue that the what is that Blood, is it Blood Moon or whatever, that game that they're kind of saying, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yes, hold on.
Bloodstained.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like they're talking that's a successor to the Castlevania.
It basically is.
Right.
Yeah,
But nowadays, any game that plays like that or kind of even looks like that is some kind of successor.
No, because
Or
in order
so-
for it to be considered a successor,
successor.
somebody who worked on the original
Yeah,
game
you're right. You're
has
right.
to fucking do it.
Everything
Because
else
for
is just an
years, Dennis
inspiration.
Dyack, who did the original Legacy of Kain games, he'd been working on a game called Dead House Sonata, which was supposed to be like a spiritual successor to Legacy of Kain.
Mhm.
But
it's kind of like when the
Everything kinda
creator
fell
gets a
through.
chance to continue his idea but can't put the name on it
yeah,
Yep.
because he's not
Kinda
allowed.
like
Because
Mighty Number 9.
yeah.
Or
Kind of
then
like
you get-
Mighty Number 9 is the next step that he would have liked to have taken for Mega Man, but
If it was
he,
good.
he didn't. He no longer owned Mega Man, so he couldn't really do that. Because he could have just made Mega Man again and just been like, it's Mighty Number 9.
Well,
This was
because
something that he wanted close enough to Mega Man, but he wanted to add and try something new.
But because
Yep.
Capcom owned the name,
Because had he still been at Capcom, that game, Mighty Number 9, would have been Mega Man.
it would have been it would have been the new Mega Man game.
Yeah, it would have
Yes.
had the name Mega Man.
Yep. And the Bloodstained games would have had the name Castlevania.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Mighty Number 9 game, which we already said, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
it would have been Mega Man, yes.
And then the one that the
You could almost argue, this is
The
going to
Dead
sound
House
wild.
Sonata would have been Legacy of Kain, yes.
Oh, well, no,
Yeah.
I was going to say you could almost argue that Shovel Knight, had it had the right developers and the right, I feel like Shovel Knight, if you were to reskin that game, you could get away with that being DuckTales 3. Not that it's made by the same
I
guys,
think-
but it feels very
Yeah.
much like that kind of game.
actually, I always thought it kind of sort of felt like Ghosts and Goblins.
I didn't, because with the
No.
jumping and like the pogo thing that he does and the digging and
Well,
like,
that's why
everything that he does feels like DuckTales and DuckTales 2.
I feel
Yeah.
like it could be.
I feel like it was
combination of both.
highly inspired by those two games.
I think so because there's a Ghost and Goblins feel to it in my
Mm. I don't
opinion.
know the last time you played Ghosts and Goblins, but you should go back and try it again and get reamed.
You need to get on your Switch, Shane, and you need to play them their virtual consoles.
Yeah, I think it's been a while since you've played. In fact, you have access to it. Yeah, he's right. I'd go on the virtual console and try it again. You'll change your mind real fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins feel like you stuck a knife up your butthole and then wiggled around while you were trying to play a game.
Ghosts and Goblins feels like you tried to stick your dick in a Cheerio
Yeah.
and accidentally put it in an electrical socket.
And then you were like, this fucking game.
Oh, as we all know, I've always wanted to experience what it felt like to stick my dick in a socket. So.
Well, now this is for
No,
you.
you can.
Because I totally like.
And if you want an extra bonus, when you play Super Ghouls and Goblins, because they changed the name for it, but when you
Yeah.
play Super Ghouls and Goblins, it'll feel like you stuck your dick in an anthill.
See, like here's a wild question. It was not DLC, okay? Not because this is exactly why I pushed back against you guys saying Persona, because if we're going to claim that FES is DLC, extra content, okay? Then Golden is. Then Golden is. And would you have bought Maria and a scooter?
No, but I would have bought Royal if it was separate because that added another dungeon. That added more story. The story continued.
Oh, there's
So
more story.
Well, yeah, yes, there is, but like not. I thought Royal had more content.
No,
And
I'm not arguing that, but I mean,
No.
Golden has a lot of extra stuff because of the
is.
scooters. They added
Yeah.
little things that you were able to do, like things that feel missing to me now if I play it on PlayStation 2. Like when I go to the beach and Kanji has to he has to wear the seaweed bikini because he had a malfunction and he lost his mankini because he shows up to swim in a straight up mankini.
Well, of course.
And the trips to like the beach is gone and going to the other city area, the little city, the junction area, all that's missing. Maria's gone. That changes the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels weird to play it when I'm not playing Golden now.
Right.
But that does offer the question,
That's a tough one.
would you have bought a scooter and Maria? Because it doesn't sound like much, but the scooter gives you access to the the little junction city. It gives you the costume shop. It gives you the movie theater. It gives you where you can do the coffee shop.
And Maria is a social link.
Maria is an extra social link. She's actually the final boss of the game, if you play your cards right.
Well, if that's the case, then yes.
And the scooter allows you to also see 2 different interactions with the kids that didn't exist before. Like I said, going to the beach and whatnot, and going chick hunting with Yosuke and Kanji, where you try to get numbers at the Junction City, and Yosuke gets the number for that one girl, the big girl that ends up breaking his scooter. She's like, "Oh, you want to date me?" And he's like, "No."
No. Well, because
all of that is gone. All of that is gone if you play Persona. But here's the bad part. In order to get those new scenes, because it wasn't DLC, they had to change a voice actress that they couldn't get back. And they had to redo the entire game because they had to redo all her voice cues. Because Chie is different in Persona on the PlayStation 2 than she is in any other version.
Yep.
Because when they went back to add those scenes and those things, that was the voice actress they couldn't get back. For whatever reason, I don't know. I've never bothered to look it up. So had it been DLC, you also would have kept original Chie.
Yes.
But we weren't there yet. We weren't at DLC time yet. Just like FES. We weren't there in the world of DLCs yet.
It wasn't quite there. It was
the time of release a whole other game with remember, you bought Jade Empire, or you bought Jade Empire again to have the monk.
Yeah, that was a special edition.
Yeah. Yep. It came with a monk and a stick.
Which I played as that monk.
Stick.
Yeah, it is a stick.
It's a stick. And I don't think it added anything else. Stick, monk. I don't remember any other. I mean, I guess you could talk to because he's a monk. So you can be him, but I don't remember doing anything for you. You're just a monk. Because that guy doesn't really talk. We're before that point.
Yep.
It's so it didn't add a voice actor or anything. It was just you could be bald guy.
Yep.
With a stick.
Yep.
Because it added his weapon, which I guess was a new fighting style, but I don't remember it adding any new areas. I don't remember it adding anything significant.
I don't think it did either.
It was just if you already owned the game and you wanted to play as the monk, you could spend $60 again. He would have been fantastic as a DLC in his time.
Yep.
Because he would have been like, oh, hey, there's a monk in a fighting style. Give us $3.
Okay.
He would have been a microtransaction that you remember from your past that you probably would have bought. Like, oh, cool monk guy.
Right.
I know, because I did not buy that horse armor. When I saw it, I was like, I'm not giving you $5 for fucking armor.
Right, I cannot buy that.
To be fair, it was $2.
Was it $2?
I think
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it was a
hardcore test of the market.
$2.99, but yes.
Yeah, they were testing the waters with that thing. They wanted to know if it would work. Rather, one company was curious. Would you buy a horse?
And I'll be honest with you. I know. I said I just spent $50, $60 on this game. No, I'm not giving you no more money. That doesn't change my game.
And then as soon as a bunch of people bought a horse, that company said, "These people will buy dumb shit." And then all the other companies were like, "What'd you say over there? What was that?" We just got these guys to buy some dumb shit. What dumb shit? Oh, check this out. It's we got this game, right? And there's a horse in it, and we gave the horse a gold blanket on its back. And the other companies were like, "We can fucking do that?" Oh, we just did.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh shit." And everybody went home that day and was like, "Guys, they'll buy dumb shit.
Yep.
As if
Which
they
is the
didn't
reason
already
why-
fucking
yeah.
know. But, I mean,
Yeah.
and then from that point on, man, we were in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I kept going back to it. Because one, it was the first time that the shit happened. And two, it started with dumb shit of horse armor. Then, like me and Nick said, then they added a Thieves Guild, which is a quality of life thing.
Yeah.
It's not necessary, but it's helpful. They added a Mage Tower. It's not necessary, but it's helpful.
Yeah.
Then they added in the Fighting Guild, which literally added an extra like 4 hours of content. And it's like, wait, 4 hours of content? Okay,
And
all
one
right.
could argue-
Let's see what's going on. Then they added like Shivering Isles, and you're like, oh fuck, it's like a whole other fucking game inside of the game.
And you
Oh well,
could
shit.
you could argue that just like I just did with Persona 4 Golden, that if that's the version you remember, if you bought all that stuff, it almost feels like you're missing something when you go back to play the game and you end up with the base version.
Yep. Which is why most of the time it's very difficult to find the just base version. Usually it's almost always Game of the Year, which has all the shit already preloaded and bundled into it.
Because now the game feels almost like something's missing, like it's not
Yep.
complete or something when you buy it not that way. And you
Yep.
could make that argument for a lot of games. A lot of people were pissed off that when they did the remake of Persona 3, FES wasn't just already there. Because they were like, oh, where's FES? How come they skipped a third of the game?
Yep.
Because we're going to sell it to you.
Yeah, I heard that argument all over the place. People mad that this new Persona 3 would not have FES in it, and they were like, "Well, that's bullshit. Like that's like a big part of the game, and I want it because my dick is small." And then then all of a sudden they were like, "Well, you can buy a bigger dick. Here's that. We're gonna sell it to you." And they're like, "Yes."
$35 extra. I'll give it. There you
Right.
go.
Right. That's the reason why it is that games nowadays release with 3 different versions, like you just said.
Yeah.
There's the base edition, there's a deluxe edition, and then there's the ultimate Daizujin edition.
And I gotta be honest, I'm actually getting tired of that.
I hate that shit.
I really,
Oh,
I get it.
hold on.
I get that it's happening, but damn it, dude, I'm getting tired of every time I want to buy a game, and maybe that's the reason
No,
I've
dude.
become somewhat of a hardcore Switch enthusiast. Because say today I make a trip out to Target for no particular reason, E-Man, or no particular but if I make a trip out to Target for Barbarians, I might stop
You're
by.
saying a lot of shit that's not Halloween candy.
Oh man, no! I need one of those big skeletons, and I need to do
Right.
it. I need to do it. I wonder if they're listening because they're on the road right now. Hopefully she'll forget. If she is listening, she's mildly listening. She's already talking to your wife while she's on the trip. Okay, I want to buy one of those life-size skeletons while she's not home.
And suddenly Bill's phone rings. The fuck you say?
So I might make a trip out somewhere today to get something. And if I do, I don't want to argue with myself over the choice of, oh, I really like this idea, this Dragon Ball Z game, but which one do I get? There's 3 different choices and I don't know, and I don't want to miss out because they're really playing the FOMO card hard, and I don't want to be the guy that doesn't have the cool Dragon Ball Z stuff, and damn it, I just want to buy Super Mario RPG and I want to fucking play it.
Dude,
And that's all I want to fucking do.
They're actually doing.
I'm an old man. I'm 40 and I'm tired of the bullshit. Just let me play my fucking RPG. And don't try to FOMO my ass. You already took my money when you said Mario hops on turtles. Take it. Here's the fucking $70 and get out of my fucking face.
No, trust me, because with Hannah and I's anniversary coming up, I basically told her, I said, look, babe, here's how this is going to work, which is why I've been so pissy lately, is because life keeps kicking me in the dick repeatedly, where I'll set money the fuck aside for our anniversary.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I got to take the fucking money back out of literally within less than 24 hours of putting the money in the savings account, I got to pull it the fuck back out. Like, God damn it.
All right, I'm just going to set this $100 to the side so we can. Damn it! Give me that back. I got to take that.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, because I told her, I said, look, for our anniversary, we're doing 5 things.
Aw.
Way to go.
I dropped my cap. Now I can't close my water.
And I got water all over my crotch.
No, I didn't drop. I didn't spill anything, but I dropped the cap.
That's a callback to an old Sentai review.
It's true.
But I told her, I said, look, there's 5 things that we're doing guaranteedly for the anniversary. I said, number 1, we're buying 3 games. That's going to be 3 parts of the anniversary. I'm buying a game for me. I'm buying a game for both of us.
I thought we were going to hear the games. I didn't realize we were just going to get game 4. Okay.
So I'm getting the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for me.
Oh man, that looks so good. Dude,
Yep,
I'm so excited to have a new one of those games because I'm such a fucking
putz.
Yes, such a fucking
I know.
putz.
So am I.
Give me my fucking Mario and Luigi RPG and go away.
I'm gonna get the new Mario Party for both of us because
I'm interested. And that was my argument earlier. Is I wish we could have just got those maps, but I want new maps and I have to buy a whole new game to get them.
And then I'm getting the new Zelda game for both of us.
Oh, the Link, the Zelda one.
Yes, the Zelda. Okay. Because I figured that would be something she would be able to play, which would get her into the other Legend of Zelda games. So I figure I'll get those 3 fucking games. That one specifically for her, but
yeah, I would say if she was to get into Zelda, you're probably right. The top-down ones are the easier ones to get into. I think you have an argument there because the 3D ones for a new person can feel overwhelming, especially Sandbox. And then the 3D direction ones are more combat focused, and they can feel intimidating to somebody that doesn't know combat in games. They more like storyline aspects. But top-down Zelda games, while you're gonna fight, they're more puzzle sequenced and they're more exploratory sequenced. And I tend to personally like the top-down Zeldas more than any of the others, but I'm old.
This new Zelda game is going to definitely have puzzle solving.
Right, because it's going to be a lot of take what you see in the world and use it to your advantage. Yeah, which is neat.
Which is finally giving Zelda her first actual game.
Yeah, no.
Right.
No, there definitely are a couple others if you'd like to indulge in the Zelda history.
Yeah.
Nope. First game.
Nope.
He says nope.
Third game.
Nope. First game.
One could argue that she's my main in like Hyrule Warriors.
Yep.
So it's kind of her game.
But there's another thing, Bill, that like you said, you're 40, you're old, you just want to play the damn game.
I think you're right, Seth. I think you're right to start her on a top-down. I think for people that are interested, that's your easiest entry point to Zelda is a top-down. So I would argue that if you don't get her in on that one, try the other one for Switch, the top-down, when they remade the Game Boy game.
Oh, yeah, when they remade Link's Awakening.
Yeah, because that's really damn good. They did a damn good job on that.
I swear to God, I would, but the issue is I bought the fucking game physically. I lent it to a coworker at a fucking job that I worked 4 fucking jobs ago and never got it back.
And it makes you sick to rebuy something you already owned. I know.
Yeah,
I fucking know.
Because trust me, I've thought about it a couple times.
I've done the same thing. I've constantly looked at it and been like, I should buy that because I love that game and I know that I owned it. But I don't want to fucking buy it again. Like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, which is another reason I'm not trying to bring this argument back up. But the last, 10 games I bought were all digital.
Yep.
For that reason. I'm sorry. I can't loan you my game. It makes me stingy. I'm going to say it, but I'm tired of loaning games that never fucking come back. I'd like to take the game anywhere I want with me, and I'd like that if something does happen, I could just re-download the motherfucker. Because all these people that argue, oh, well, your physical copies you're always going to have. No, I won't. Because motherfuckers take them, or they get lost, or the dog fucking eats it.
Well, if that
Yep.
was the case, I'd still have my Resident Evil 2.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Which I-
getting at. Like,
which I
I'm
nev-
sorry,
which I
but
never got back.
there are
Bill would
benefits.
still have fucking guys. Are you kidding me?
That's true. I would still have guys. God bless the ring. If it was digital and I just had a PlayStation digital library, I could just download it right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then
But,
number 4 is we're gonna go see Beetlejuice.
Oh, the new
When that comes
Beetlejuice looks
out,
good.
yep.
And I can't help but wonder. I gotta put it out there right now.
Right.
They called the movie Beetlejuice. Does that imply
Yes.
that it's a
yes,
guarantee
yes.
that we're getting a 3? Because, I mean, is that just too perfect? Don't we need a Beetlejuice? Don't we
we don't-
fucking need it in our lives?
If we don't,
Because this looks fun, and I heard that Michael Keaton said his exact words, this is probably the most fun he's had doing a movie in a very, very, very long time.
Yep.
And when Michael Keaton is having fun, I want to see his movie.
Yep. Exactly.
This looks great.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm super
Yep.
excited. I'm super excited for this Beetlejuice movie,
I
dude.
need the 3 juices.
Dude,
And then,
I said the same thing. I'm like, dude, if you don't do a third movie and call it Beetlejuice,
Right.
then there's
Yeah,
something
exactly. There's something the fuck wrong with
fire
that.
know.
whoever's in charge.
As long as
Yeah.
Michael Keaton is alive, we need that third movie
Yeah,
to go
but-
through.
But now here's the thing.
And not to
Because-
drive us on a tangent, but we need Blade 4. We need
You're
to
not wrong.
close the Blade series with Snipes. Give us 4 and let it be done.
Yep.
Well, but
Especially since I just seen him again.
Yep.
and he
Exactly.
And he still looks like he can do it.
well, before I
Yep.
get to my part, what was the fifth thing?
And then the 5th thing is something that my friend Jennifer and I have been doing for years, which is on Halloween. We would always go to the Chinese buffet that ends up being here in town and fucking gorging ourselves. So when Hannah and I first got together, that was like
You've
one of the
always
first-
been going to the one there in town? That
Yeah, we've been-
surprises me, because that
been
just
doing
seems like
that
it would have been
since,
a hell
like-
of a drive for how long you've been doing it, that you were going all the way there. I thought
We've
you
been
were
doing
going
it
to a
since,
place
like-
in, like, you know,
Uh-uh.
P-Town.
Oh, God, no. No, we've been doing it since like 2015, 2016. Kind
No,
of
I
thing.
know. That's the reason it surprises
Yeah.
me, because with you living in the different areas you've lived in, it surprises me you were going all the way out to where you are to do that. I never expected that it was in that town.
The reason being is because with her being Wiccan, there's a big gathering of fellow Wiccans who would come out to the local park to do like a big Samhain get together.
Okay, so it was like a
she
double
would-
book. It was like a double booked thing.
Right, it's
you
one of
kind
those,
of
like,
make
we're
that
already
your
in the
thing, and then
area.
okay,
And-
that makes
yeah.
perfect sense. That
You're-
explains
yeah.
why it was where it was. I
You're-
get that now.
Yep, exactly.
You're also forgetting one more thing. Some traditions are just worth it.
No, you're not wrong. But yeah, so that's basically our plan. Is anniversary dinner would be fucking go up to the buffet and pig the fuck out. So it's literally buy a video game that's complete, buy a video game that's complete, buy a video game that's complete, watch a movie that's completed, and completely engorge myself in food. There's a lot of completes there.
I was gonna say he's gonna feel complete when his day
Yeah.
is done.
He may even
As
be
soon
his,
as I
he
can
may-
save, as soon as I can save the fucking $500 I need to.
Oh, I know.
Over the next no time.
Every time I turn around, it's doctor visit this, fucking car that. I know, dude. I get it.
Yeah.
This has been. I'm not trying to. I'm putting it out there so that everybody understands why the episodes have been weird. This is the hardest year. I know that's something that gets thrown around a lot. This year's been hard. This has been the most difficult year in the entire group's history. I mean, the entire group's
This
history.
has been,
It's just
this
one
has been
thing
the
after
hardest
another.
year.
And it's for
Yeah, it's-
everybody. It's not like, hey, one of our guys is dealing with something, two
Yeah.
of our guys are dealing with something, but we're doing okay. Everybody right now is on dyers. Like, we're
Yeah,
all
this-
dealing with
this
something,
year-
and we're kind of struggling to get in here and find topics. Like, I had a topic that we thought about doing, and we stopped it, because right now, it is what it is. Right now, there's tensions that are high, and we were like, this argument is probably not okay right now. We need something that we can just play with. Like, I wanted to do that football one, and I wanted to get Shane to admit, oh, this sounds great. Oh, hold on. Back up. I don't think I like this at all. Like,
Right.
No, I didn't.
This year, to complete my thought, has been one of the hardest years for the entire group since fucking the pandemic. When we literally couldn't get together to do fucking episodes.
But then I would also say that year was just tough because we couldn't get together. It didn't come with the problems.
Yeah, no, I was
like
everybody.
I was for the most part, I was fine during the pandemic. I was just irritated. This has been different, man. Like this has been different. Like Shane is on straights. He's dealing with shit. You have all your own shit because you're taking care of other shit. Nick, ouch, that's going to take real time. And his entire life is doing circles right now while he puts it back together. And then, and it's not just us, it's outside of the group too. Because if you think of things like Ashlyn moved away.
Yep.
Like, and just different things like that, it has created a lot of distance and difficulties and whatnot. And then I've got another person that's currently kind of like, oh, there's one good thing, but it's still a hardship. A new kid was born in the group, which means that those two individuals are now very busy. They're not going to be, you know what I mean, at nearly as accessible as they were. And so there's a lot of stuff. Life has been wild this year. Like, it has been compounding issues for the entirety of the group.
And you know what's
Except me, I'm
the
fine.
sad,
I'm Peter Venkman over here. I'm fine.
You know, you know what the sad truth is?
What?
This is the year of the dragon. This is my year. I'm born on the year. This is supposed to be my year, and it's not.
It's supposed to be our year, Shane, but it's not.
I forget.
Do you hear this motherfucker over here talking about it's the year of the dragon? He didn't once this entire fucking year offer to watch Chinese spare ribs with me.
Oh, oh, dude, that movie is awesome.
You see that? It's the year of the dragon, and we haven't even watched Chinese spare ribs.
You probably got to watch Enter the Dragon.
But Bill, this motherfucker over here didn't even bother to watch the new video that Matt dropped the other day. That's Matt with 4 T's, by the way, where he covered fucking Crow books.
Dude, he does. I haven't got to see it yet, but that dude, I'm telling you, he's so good. I like every single video he has done. Even if I don't give a shit about the topic, I'm like, I don't know about that.
I don't give a fuck about the guys who made Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dude, I know.
I give a fuck about the guys who made Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dude, he is so good, man. He is so good.
That's one of those things. It's another one of those things where you make a recommendation and it makes me hate you for making a recommendation because now I am stuck in the fucking rabbit hole until some big controversy shows up where, like, Matt kicked a puppy when he was like 12, and I'm like, I can't. No.
We got people here talking about it too. Like, dude, that channel, I found that channel by accident. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was listening to this guy and I said, you know, this is remarkably well done. Right. And then I got to the end of the video and it was like, hey, this guy does this other talk about, it was about the Rabbit comic. You know what I'm talking about without going into details? Yes, it was about the Rabbit comic. And I was like, that could be interesting. So I clicked on it and I watched that. And I was like, that was neat. Then all of a sudden I see this, I'm like, is that clickbait? This guy died to make comic books?
No.
Click! And I'm like, oh shit, he fucking died making comic books. And like, it was just one after the other. I was like, okay, I'm subbing to this fucking guy. Like, he talks about shit I don't know and don't give a fuck about. And I watch his entire 48-minute fucking video. Like, this guy's a beast.
That's the only issue that I'm having with him recently is now I've subbed up. He's gone from doing like hour, 45-minute videos to now he's down to like 15, 20, 17. I'm like, come on, Matt. I know you got to pump out the content, keep that money train going, but come on, man. Fucking like the hour-long explanations were fucking so good.
That dude handles that shit. He digs in so well. He might be the best. He might be the best I've ever seen for comic book documenters Ever.
Yep.
Like, he is crazy, crazy good at what he has chosen to do.
Oh yeah.
I just buy
And like
toys.
And like I said, it's one of those things where in the new one where he's going over the Crow, he was like, "Oh yeah, no, here's the story of the dude who wrote the book," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." Oh yeah, so blah blah this and da da that, and like literally by the end of it, I'm like literally like misty eyed, fucking almost Kevin Smith ugly crying, like holy
Awesome.
fucking shit, that's horrible.
That's
Holy
fantastic.
shit, that's fantastic and horrible
Yep.
at the same time. What the fuck?
But
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I still have the Sonic one to watch. I put it off for a reason.
It's good, but
I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy it regardless of anything. But like, so I had to train a guy at work.
uh-oh.
Normally, this is fine. The guy asks me, "Hey, do you like Sonic the Hedgehog?" I mean, sure. I'm not really into the fandom. It gets a little ridiculous and it dives into some shit that I certainly don't care for. And then I'm also a little tired of the obsessive furry Mecha-Sonic thing that goes on in that fandom.
yeah,
And
little-
for what it's worth, I played the games on Sega Genesis. I played some of them on Game Boy. I like it for what it's worth, but no, I would not consider myself a fan. Sometimes I see a game and it's fun. And he goes,
Yep.
"Oh, have you heard about the Sonic comic book?" And I'm like, "No, can't say I give a shit." That's all I said. Can't say I give a shit. And this guy goes, "Oh, let me tell you." I'm like, didn't I just say that I don't give a shit about Sonic nor his comic book? And all of a sudden, for 2.5 hours, this dude just rang my ear, like as if he couldn't take a breath. Like we're walking, he's like, I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, what is happening? And like, I would even try to give hints, like, yeah, I mean, that's comic books. Oh no, listen to this. And I'm like, oh god damn it. So then I saw that Matt did that. He talked
Yeah, I
about
was about
Sonic.
to say that would give you about 47 minutes roughly of here you go, guy. Listen to this. I'm gonna go and fucking take a mental break
Right.
for like an hour. I'll be back.
Yeah, it just, and I know what was going on. I figured it out because after spending a week with him and kind of finding out where I could talk to him and what we could do, I think he's autistic.
That's
And
what
I
was
think
about
that
to
he
say.
doesn't
Probably
often
on the
find people
spectrum.
that he can talk to that will listen to him. So when
Right.
it happens, he goes
happens.
in. And I think he
Yep.
got way too excited and he just kind of wrung me. And
Right.
it took me a day or two to find where I could wind him down and kind of like relate to him, and then we could talk throughout the day. It was a rough couple days. I was like, oh my god, this dude does not have a pause button. Like,
Yeah. No, trust me, considering the fact that we have 2 or 3 fans that are on the autistic spectrum who talk to us constantly on Facebook and that, although to be fair, I haven't heard from the one in a while, and yeah, I'm a little worried about him. But yeah, like, no, I understand completely.
yeah, we got people in the chat too. Not just one or two. We've had a couple where I think it might be something in the draw that like Sentai kind of brings people in and gives them something to kind of like hard focus on because there's so much there that I think it
Right.
helps them to find a center. I think in a strange way you find a lot of people that are autistic that kind of really dive in hardcore to Sentai because I think it helps them. There's so much there and they kind of get stuck on little things that like you and I wouldn't care. Like you said,
Yep.
I'm getting tired of the forums where they changed one thing. But that one little itty bitty thing to like those guys that kind of hyper focus in, that can be the absolute difference that like
Yep.
made it. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
they'll get so much out of, oh, and then in this episode he got these red lines and like there's an entire mythology behind why it he cried and he got red lines. Now there's red lines. And so like that's a big thing. It helps. I think it helps them to hyper focus in because there's so much there. And we like to play with it and make fun of it and watch it and die. And we kind of do the same ourselves. We're like, and how is this fucking guy like? Because I just listened to all our Ninja Turtles. I just listened to all 3 movies of the Ninja Turtles and listening to how much we were able to pull out. No, I'm not. I'm going through it. I just finished Turtles 3. I'm going through the entirety of it, kind of listen to it again because I'm gonna collage those videos and make them full files again and put them on the podcast playlist.
Okay.
And that's the reason I was listening to them again is because I wanted to see if there was anything in there that I needed to fix or if I had to delete something. Maybe something was like, oh, we can't fucking do that. But I didn't see any issues. I just saw good conversations that every now and then would really pivot into something way more hardcore than we needed to be.
Right.
Over there at that subject, like who gives a shit?
Yeah, because I was going to say, while we're reviewing, yes, we will do deep dives and hyper focus on certain points. Like, case in point, the last time Shane and I did a review for Lost Galaxy, and I brought up the fact that I swear to God, I can almost guarantee, and it's not just a Rangers don't have sex moment.
Right.
There's that one fucking episode where Trakina shows the fuck up, looking like a fucking smoking hotness, and every dude has their fucking tongue
except
automatically
for one guy
down on the floor, except for Mike. And I'm like, no, that's that I'm gay and in the military and I can't show it bullshit.
I did kind of wonder that myself. I didn't get a chance to really talk on it, but like everybody is a dog with their tongue out in that episode, except for only one guy that can think through the issue.
Yep.
Like that's it. Only one guy in the entire group. That's it.
Like,
yep.
She's like, take a look at me, and he's like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, that's nice. So I got shit that I'm doing.
Which is why I said he's got to be either gay, bi, or pansexual. It's got to be one of the 3. That's not heteronormative, where it's, oh my God, this is smoking hot bitch with a big butt and big old titties.
Especially since you're talking about a universe that has magic, and magic will probably have very fundamental rules. Like maybe her spell is designed to affect the heterosexual, and that's it.
Yep.
And that since the spell is specific, it affects that. And then maybe it left him alone, so he was like, "She's good looking." But that's as far as he needed to go with it. And then like the girls were the only ones that were like, "What the? Why is everybody fucking stupid?" Like
there might be one slight.
And you could also argue that maybe that power protects him because his power is different from theirs.
Right.
I was just about to say, maybe his will is stronger because he had the Magna Defender in him. And we can tell you right now, the Magna Defender was not chasing tail.
But he was, because he did have a kid.
He did, but then
so
when
he died, so those emotions do exist for the Magna Defender.
Well, but when his kid was killed, all he felt was nothing but rage.
I get that, but then,
and I think
I don't know.
Maybe,
but then he comes to peace with it because then he basically is like, okay, Mike, take my powers, fucking, you're good to go. Peace, bitch, and literally fucks off.
He does
to the afterlife,
right?
And that's well before. Look at these jugs.
Oh yeah, and that's before.
Like,
so
God.
he would no longer be influenced by a second personality in his mind.
Yep.
Because that's kind of like the Piccolo Nail Kami thing.
Yep.
After a time, those other personalities, they actually die. So like Nail is with Piccolo. And then over time, Nail's personality actually fades out of existence and is taken over by the dominant Piccolo personality. And Nail literally does cease to exist. And Kami the same. Kami influences Piccolo and is there at the start and then fades out over time and is no longer a thing.
Yep.
But I think we've hit our end. We are at 2 hours and 18 minutes. I got stuff coming in. I'm noticing my phone's been ringing off the hook. I'm curious what that's about.
Probably your wife.
I don't think it's her. But
you're doing what now with my money?
I'm using your credit card to buy microtransactions.
Yeah.
No.
I'm buying a bunch of microtransactions because I'm going to get one 15-foot skeleton and then like 30 30 like 6-foot skeletons.
Dude, you
to, like,
don't
climb
know.
up the house.
You don't know what the struggle is to not buy the giant 15-foot skeleton. You don't know. I want that motherfucker in my backyard. I want his hands on the house, and I want his face looking in the bathroom window. And I want her to not know that I'm setting it up.
This is my first year as a home owner. I own my house.
Right.
You want to tell me I don't know the struggle of wanting to get fucking
Dude.
like hardcore Halloween decorations?
Dude, I want it. I want it. I want that giant skeleton. There's a couple of them in my neighborhood, and I'm like, damn you! I want it. But we are going to get out of here.
We'll see
Yeah,
you
we're going to
guys
get out of here.
We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Bye.